In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a custom domain name or a custom web address for your BlastPod website. Now, when you set up a BlastPod website, you will be asked to enter a desired URL or subdomain name. And what that means is when I set up mine, it was Free Market Squad. So the way it reads is freemarketsquad.blastpod.com. Now, you might not want to have your BlastPod site named mypodcastsite.blastpod.com, and instead you might want it to be mypodcastsite.com. And that's actually very simple to do with the BlastPod software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to where I purchased a domain name. You need to purchase a domain name first. You can do that from a number of different services. GoDaddy will let you do that. I use Web Hosting Pad for mine, and I'm just going to go ahead and find my domain names. And the particular one that I want to use is nathanfrasershow.com. I want my website to be known as or found on the web as nathanfrasershow.com. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Manage Domain and Manage Name Servers. Now, I'm going to need to get this name server information, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste my nathanfrasershow.com real quick. And over on the BlastPod backend, I'm going to go ahead and find configure site and change domain name. This information right here will teach you how to go ahead and change the domain name. I have read through it already, so I'm just going to take a quick shortcut and enter the domain name that I want to be listed as my BlastPod site, which is nathanfrasershow.com. So I'm going to enter nathanfrasershow.com right here in this field. And then I'm going to go ahead and click continue. So what I'm going to need to do is tie my BlastPod account to my name server. So I'm going to go ahead and take the name server information from this screen, copy and paste it over here. First, I'm going to select use custom name servers. I'm going to copy and paste the nameserver1.blastpod.com information there. And same thing for the name server 2. I'm going to grab the name server 2 information right here, copy that, and paste that in right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click change name servers. Now, this next part does take a little bit of patience. Sometimes it takes about 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes up to a half hour. Sometimes it takes up to 2 hours. It just depends on how long it takes for your domain name registrar to connect with our name servers. As soon as the two have connected, then when you click on your new domain name, your BlastPod account will show up. Right now, it has not shown up because the two are not connected. I'm going to go ahead and turn custom domain name on, and I will check back in a little bit to see if the two are connected. Okay, so it's been about a half hour since I last tried. I'm going to try again by clicking on the link here to what I assigned my domain name to be. And it looks like it's still not connected with our name server. So you might get impatient and you might want to click enable before the time. Now, here's a little warning. You do not want to enable this until propagation occurs or all of the links on your BlastPod website will break. I'm going to go ahead and click enable anyways because I'm just impatient. So I've clicked enable and it says your custom domain, Nathan Fraser Show, or whatever your podcast website name is, .com has been configured and enabled for your BlastPod website. Click here to view your BlastPod website. Now I'm going to click on that and you'll notice that all of my links are now broken. So the links that were working just a little bit ago no longer work. Now, don't worry. If you get impatient and you do this yourself, this does happen. You just have to wait until the propagation does take effect. So as soon as the name server is connected with your domain name, these links will start working again. But until that happens, the links will be broken. That is why you need to wait until the link works for your main show. But as you see, it is nathanfrasershow.com. It's just broken right now. So I am going to wait here on the homepage for a little bit longer, and we'll try back in a couple of minutes to see if the site is working. All right, it's about an hour later. Let's try this again. I've went into Web Hosting Pad, which is where I purchased nathanfrasershow.com, my domain name from. I made sure that my name server 1 is pointed at ns1.blastpod.com. I made sure that name server 2 is pointed at ns2.blastpod.com. I'm going to try again here by clicking on the preview button for my BlastPod site. Now you will see it still is freemarketsquad.blastpod.com. I'm going to go ahead and click on a link and see if the links are working now. And it looks like they are. And you will see that now it is nathanfrasershow.com and no longer freemarketsquad.blastpod.com. So there you have it. My BlastPod site now works if you just go to my domain name, which is nathanfrasershow.com. So it requires a little bit of patience, and you do have to purchase your domain name from a third party. But once you have a domain name, you just go in here to change domain name and make sure that you have your name servers pointing towards our server, the blastpod.com, ns1.blastpod.com, ns2.blastpod.com. You go to change domain name, you enter the domain name. And again, super, super important. Wait until the links are working before you hit enable, and you should have no problems. And that is how you set up a custom domain name for your BlastPod website.